In the year 2000, a song exploded onto the scene, dominating sports arenas, kids' parties, and radio stations worldwide. Who Let the Dogs Out was an unstoppable force, winning a Grammy, playing in every major stadium, and earning an estimated $100 million in royalties. Even today, over 2 decades later, the song continues to generate revenue every time it's streamed, played at an event, or licensed for a commercial. But what if I told you, nobody actually knows who wrote it? At least 5 different people claim to have created the song, each with their own version, each with their own proof. Lawsuits have been filed, battles have been fought, and to this day, the truth remains murky. Some say it started as a chant at a high school football game. Others claim it was a forgotten Caribbean track that was stolen and repackaged, and in the middle of it all, a small Bahamian band who didn't even write the song became the face of one of the biggest copyright disputes in music history. This is the insane story of how a novelty hit turned into one of the most contested, mysterious, and profitable songs ever made. Let's go back to where it all started. The world first heard Who Let the Dogs Out in the summer of 2000 when a Bahamian group called Bahamen released their version of the song. It wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural phenomenon. It won a Grammy for Best Dance Recording in 2001. It became the official anthem of sports teams around the world. It was featured in movies, TV shows, and commercials, generating millions in licensing fees. From the outside, it seemed like a one-hit wonder success story. But behind the scenes, there was one problem. Bahamen didn't actually write the song. In fact, they had never even heard of it until their producer, Steve Greenberg, handed it to them and told them to record it. And that's where things start to get messy, because before the Bahamen made it famous, Who Let the Dogs Out had already existed in multiple forms, and different people started coming forward, claiming they wrote it first. What started as a catchy chant became one of the most confusing and legally contested songs in music history. And the deeper you go, the stranger the story gets. So, who really wrote the song? Let's trace it back to its origins. At least 5 different people claim ownership, each with their own proof and legal battles. And what's even crazier, some of these versions existed almost a decade before the Bahamen ever recorded it. Let's break down the contenders. 1. Anselm Douglas. The original creator, 1998. The most widely accepted story credits Anselm Douglas, a Trinidadian artist who wrote a song called Doggy in 1998. His version included the exact same famous chant, Who Let the Dogs Out, woof, woof, woof. But according to Douglas, the song wasn't about actual dogs, it was about women calling out unfaithful men. In Caribbean slang, dogs referred to men who cheated, and the chant was a way of asking, who let these bad men loose? Douglas's version was a minor hit in the Caribbean, but it didn't become a worldwide sensation. That wouldn't happen until Bahamen's producer, Steve Greenberg, discovered it and brought it to them. But here's where things get strange. 2 Miami DJs say they wrote it first, 1996. 2 Miami radio DJs, Patrick Stevenson and Leroy Williams, claim they created the song 2 years before Douglas in 1996. They say they performed it live at nightclubs in Florida, where it became a local chant among partygoers. When they heard Bahamen's version blow up years later, they were shocked because they believed the song had been stolen from their Miami club scene, and they weren't the only ones. 3A high school football team claims they started it, early 1990s. An even wilder twist came when a high school football coach from Michigan stepped forward, claiming that his team had been using Who Let the Dogs Out as a chant since the early 1990s. He even had a cassette recording of the team shouting the exact same phrase during games, years before the Bahamen ever touched it. 4 a Canadian rapper claims he had it first, 1992. Going even further back, a Canadian artist named Jonathan King claimed that he wrote and recorded a similar version of the song in 1992. 8 years before Bahamen made it famous. King says he later sold the rights to the song's melody to a producer, and somehow it eventually made its way to Bahamen. At this point, the origins of Who Let the Dogs Out had become a legal nightmare. Anslem Douglas says he wrote it in 1998. The Miami DJs say they wrote it before Douglas in 1996. A high school football team says they had the chant even earlier. Jonathan King claims he had it in 1992, long before any of them. And in the middle of it all, the Baha Men, who were simply handed the song by their producer and told to record it, completely unaware of the chaos that was about to unfold. The song was already huge, but as the lawsuits started piling up, the real battle was just beginning. The legal battle dragged on for years, with different courts ruling in different ways. Some settlements were reached behind closed doors, and in the end, nobody won outright, because it was nearly impossible to prove who really came up with it first. Where did the money go? Despite the legal disputes, Who Let the Dogs Out kept raking in millions in royalties, but the profits were now being split between multiple people, depending on court decisions and private settlements. Bahamen, the ones who actually made the song famous, barely saw a fraction of the money. Anslem Douglas received some royalties but lost full control of the song. The Miami DJs were awarded a settlement, though the exact amount remains undisclosed. Jonathan King received a portion of the rights due to his early recordings. And the craziest part, the high school football team never got a dime, even though their chant might have started it all. The legacy of a legally confusing hit, despite being a one-hit wonder, Who Let the Dogs Out remains one of the most legally contested songs in history. To this day, the true original version is still disputed. The song continues to generate millions in royalties from sports events, movies, and commercials. And the phrase, Who Let the Dogs Out, has become a part of pop culture forever, even if no one knows who actually came up with it first. So in the end, the real question isn't just who let the dogs out, but who really got paid for it. And the answer? Almost everyone.